Hi, this is Todd Baker. Hope you guys are having a wonderful week and a great start to May. And wanted to first off remind you of a few things. We have happy hour coming up next Wednesday, the 14th at Katy Trail Ice House in Plano. I know many of you have been able to attend this last few months, and it's going to be beautiful weather. I hope you can all come out. We can all hang out together, have a little fellowship for a few hours, and have some fun. We also have on the 21st of May is the Plano Mastermind Group at Old Republic in Coit. And I know several of you have already RSVP'd. This month, we're going to talk about what we do with a buyer from contract to close and the sales opportunities there that are inherently there for referrals. Now, and also how to make it go real smooth, how to make sure we get the deal closed, how to add value. We're going to talk about all that, but we're going to interject into that discussion selling by speed, velocity, and collaborative selling. And so I want to talk about speed and velocity just for a few minutes with you. The idea of speed came from a sales concept called buying temperature. So whenever we have a new prospect that's looking to buy a house, there's a certain temperature or buying temperature they'll have of excitement and enthusiasm. And as sales professionals, we want to capture that, and that's our highest window of opportunity to close that deal. And what was happening is everything we're doing goes too slow. Not just on my end, but just everybody, the way we think. We're just thinking in terms of just too many steps. So what I did to streamline my front end is instead of the online loan applications, I now take the loan application at point of contact. Unless I'm in my car, in which case I still have a high value conversation, and immediately when I get back to my desk, when they're available, I take a loan application. I don't care if it's at night, I don't care if it's on the weekend, I don't care when it is, but I'm going to get that loan application over the phone. I then sort it out very quickly. Very early on in the conversation when I check credit, if they're below the threshold and need major rehab, we do help them with a plan and put them on a drip campaign. If they're below the threshold and just need a little help, we leave them as a lead and we continue to work on them. Or in some cases, it might be someone that is waiting for short sale seasoning or bankruptcy seasoning or whatnot, but anybody that's a bona fide lead, just not right now because of a little work, they go into an active management category basically. And everyone else goes through to full approval. I complete the loan application, and then here's what I do. I do my approval. I streamline the document list. I call it a homework list. I send it out to the client and to you with the total cost analysis / mortgage plan, the homework list, and notification of loan approval. Right when you get that, that's your trigger to call, say congratulations, and schedule a time to put them in the vehicle. You want to go show them 4 houses like we talked about a few masterminds ago. You want to really have a contract either in hand or on your iPad ready to write this afternoon. That's got to be your goal. This is where velocity comes in. Your goal is, and the mentality needs to be, okay, now they're back, let's write a contract. That's what you're looking to do. So get the buyer's questionnaire filled out, have the must-have and like to have, portions of them complete so you really know what they're looking for, and get them out making some offers. Now, part of what I'm going to do, I'm going to set them up to make full price offers for you and be real strong all the time. We want to make sure when you make an offer, I always call the listing agent like we talked about last week with Debbie, Jeffrey, and I, which, by the way, if you missed last week's video, we had a huge bidding war that we won because of calling the listing agent and connecting them real deeply. And this week, Debbie and Lynn Hendricks, that agent, were featured in the Dallas Business Journal. That transaction was really cool. So those are the steps you want to do. So I'm going to create speed. I'm going to ask you to create some velocity by picking up and running with it. And let's get contracts done. Last I want to talk about real briefly is collaborative selling. I think I have invented that phrase, although I'm not sure. I've just never heard anybody use it. What I mean by that is we work together as a team. So, for example, this past week, Carrie Johnston and I had a client in which Carrie had the listing sold, their house sold. She had it sold for a cash offer at the highest per square foot offer in the history of that neighborhood. But the clients were actually buying a smaller home. They're trying to get some debt paid off, sort of like a move down buy or a lateral buy. And the house they found, they were really having issues with. And because of the stress, they were about to pull out of both transactions. So Carrie called me after she spoke to the client. I was able to call and reinforce what a great offer that was. I also gave them the pros and cons of moving forward on the other house, openly and honestly. And frankly, I think that it was a good idea for him. I think Carrie did too, just to go find the house she really wanted. But we retained her listing, and they're excited, and the stress is off. And next week when it closes, he's calling me back, and we're going to increase the purchase price. And so now he gets the house he wants, and Carrie and I both get a bigger transaction out of it. Everybody wins. That happened because Carrie and I spoke. Karen Spencer and I this week spoke about a client that left her agent, came over to Karen, and she had a tendency to drive this other agent all over God's green earth. So Karen's immediately, we're getting it right down into focus so we can get a transaction to happen for her and get her into a house. And I'm reinforcing that and working with the client to do the same. So this is what we want, collaborative sales. Last, ask me about how to pre-screen your offers on listings. What we're doing is I act as your preferred lender, and any offer on a listing that comes in, I will call and ask a few questions and make sure that's a valid approval so that you don't waste a bunch of time on the listing side as well. So there's your speed, velocity, and collaborative selling. Hope to see you next week at Mastermind. Next week at Happy Hour, and the week after at Mastermind. Thanks so much.